Hello world. Patricia O'Connor and Frida Reba Dorsey here, and it is our Friday night at Frida's place. Drop. The balcony is out there and it's dark and everybody's snoozing. Meanwhile, I have brought in and placed on the bench a 17-year from seed when I acquired this tree 3 years ago. That makes it a 17, 18, 19-year from seed Japanese black pine. And what we are going to do to this tree tonight is do a little bit of wiring on these lower branches. I don't think I'm going to go much higher than that. I might, but I'm not planning to. But what I am planning on doing is throwing some wire on these bottom branches, and we're not going to go all Cheerio on this guy. We just are looking to bring these guys down. And yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at. So that's what I'll be doing tonight. The tools that we will be using. I have some copper wire standing by. I will probably go with a lighter gauge to help me get around here cleanly, and then I will likely double it so that we can get some adequate bends out of it. That's kind of what I'm thinking going in. I haven't wired this tree before, so if that proves to be difficult for any reason, one, this is not going to be a short video, and two, if I see where I've made a judgment error in my gauge of wire, we're just gonna tiptoe our butts right back out as best we can the way we came and amend anything that we think we're doing wrong. So the tools tonight, I've got a small set of needle nose. I've got a slightly bigger set of needle nose. I've got a third set of needle nose. And I have some tweezers that I was using earlier to clean up the last little bit of needles that I saw laying in the substrate up here where I over-thinned the needles. Last year, I don't think I did it enough. This year, I think I overdid it. So yeah, neither of those are the best, but the tree has been pretty forgiving. So yeah, aside from our wire in several different assorted sizes of needle nose pliers, I've also got some dog treats standing by, hopefully enough to get us through there, and I'm paying off the dog as we speak. So all right, sleeves up. I'm going to take this in a little bit, make sure our focus is pretty much okay. All right, 3 minutes in and we haven't done any wiring yet. So here we go. Followers of Peter Hahn will be glad to see that I will be utilizing the 2-branch method to do this tonight. Hopefully. Hopefully I'll be able to do some clean work. That's all I'm going to say. Right now, so far, it's doesn't seem to be too difficult to lay this in here by hand, but if it starts getting kind of tight, then I'll revert to pliers and start doing it that way. And the idea also, in regards to doing it with two wires, is these guys, these wires, these branches always bifurcate off anyway. So having one to go each way will be good. Will be very good. Exactly what we want, in fact. Okay. All right, so here's half of that guy. And then bring this guy down a little. See if I can come in here. Clear those out. And don't get in too big a hurry, Patricia. Yeah, play with your fast forward button as you need to. This is not going to get in any enormous hurries here. Kind of the opposite. I'm gonna try to go deliberately slow, making sure to do as little harm as possible. We've got some really good branch structure here. Everything about this tree done before me was done really well, and my deal here is to raise my game. My deal here is no joke, is to raise my game to be worthy of this tree. That's absolutely noble the way I feel about this guy. That's been the idea since I first saw it, was to try to maintain this guy to standards. You know, and when I looked at it, I'm like, good luck. And then I'm like, no, whatever happens, happens. But that same amount of pressure will cause you to fight back. Will cause you to learn faster. Will cause you to, you know, that's kind of the idea behind growing. You know, feeling the pressure. Yeah, that'll probably be fine when doubled. Hopefully 2 of those is enough. Okay, so can we? Well, if I do that, we go out of frame. But yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that again. And then we'll I'm just going to do that, pretty much that same wrap again, and then we're going to put motion in these 2 guys and move on to the next one. Oh, I'll lose it if I do that. Speaking of losing it, got my hand in there a bit, big time. Okay. Almost came up a little, well, almost nothing. I came up a little bit short on that one. I don't think too short. I think I'll be okay. Okay. Per diem paid. Not bad. Not holding. Not holding. Okay. All right. I think if I go with heavier wires, I'll tear up too many buds. And I think if I don't go with heavier wire, I will not be able to pull it down like I want to and get it to stay this way. Okay. There's more than I had said that earlier. If this is a nice tree, and I haven't wired it before, so at the first hit of trouble, we would just back our happy butts out the way we came and do something else. In this case, what I will do is I'm gonna run guy wires. This game just got a little easier. Part of it just got a little easier. The second part of it is I have to figure out now how to do the back of this tree with guy wires. On this side, the side that's facing us now, let's see, and let's take that. Y'all can clearly see this big old huge hose here running across our anchor wire, possibly leaving a wire mark here and here. So that'll be our anchor part for everything on this side of the tree. How will that be? That can be our anchor point for a few pieces over here. I'm not sure how. I don't think I'm going to be able to accentuate that a whole lot, though. Now, the other side of that is where I was just concerned about whether or not the wire I was using was going to be a heavy enough gauge. It's not so much an issue with guy wires. This stuff, that I've lacing around here now is going to be more than strong enough to pull down that limb right there. This guy. See if we can straighten that up a little bit. Oh, also, get yourself some more cutters handy, Patricia. Okay, got my nip X's handy. Now, the idea here is to pull this branch down with, oh, I could have also maybe gone further back, I suppose. Let me see. Yeah. Little quick tool pick up there. I've had a lap full of tools all of a sudden. Like Pat says, we're nothing if not graceful. I don't think I have it far enough out for that to hold it. No, it did. We did. We did a pretty good job of holding that, actually. I think that's good. Okay. That one was fairly thick as they go. This one is going to be a two-parter. Okay. right here. Run that up and through just like that, and then bring it forward. And then we got that guy down. Oh yeah, I like that. That down far enough. A little camera adjustment here right quick. Sorry about that. Okay, now that's a couple in, and that's kind of what we have going here. Now I'm just going to go around to this one. That's too heavy. Where are we at, Pat? Right here. We are here. Yeah. I'm grabbing some more wire right quick. And okay. I was a little stressed out. I was a little stressed out by trying to do a pretty job of getting the wire on there. I certainly thought 2 strands of that copper. I certainly thought 2 strands would be enough to do it. I was wrong. The wire wasn't heavy enough for 2 strands to do it, but I could go to an even smaller gauge steel and make it guy wires. So, and I could do that without tearing up the foliage that I think I would be tearing up if I continued to go the way I was going with wrapping my wires around those branches. Bring this guy down. Now that one I could, it's too tiny though. I could wire that, but it's so tiny, there's not enough to even wire. I can grab it, I can still grab it. quits there. I'm still using my tie down wire as my rigging point, and I also want to stay the heck away from those roots. Yeah. Let me go and get my wire. Oh. Okay. Very careful. Okay. So that's how we're doing so far. We're just pulling it all down. Now, let's see. I need to pull this around better. Asking for trouble here. And that isn't tight enough. Don't do it, Pat. Okay. I still have a lot of stuff to pull down here. All right. I know how to make rigging points. I mean, that's something we know how to do when the push comes to shove. Probably come off there. Probably come off of the foot. To pull that guy down. I don't really want to go rigging off the roots on this tree. I'm really resistant to that. Yeah, I am. I'm pretty resistant to that, I would say. Right now, I'm still kind of doing the find a place to rig the next one, and then worry about the next one after that. At some point, I'm going to have to make a point to rig off of, and I haven't figured out exactly what I intend to do about that yet. Okay. That. I could get that. I don't like this one. So, you know what? Here's what. I don't like this one. I didn't like having to weave through here. I thought I'd go further back on the base, and I didn't get enough leverage on it. And so I pulled it as tight as I could from there. I mean, as tight as I wanted to without hurting anything. And I didn't get enough movement out of it. So this would be the part where if I were 1,000,000% honest, I would unwire that and start over. And we'd all do a quick eye roll. Here's what. I'll probably go back on that on my own time in a few minutes. Later tonight, after I've had a minute to enjoy something else, I'll go, oh yeah, no, you go back and fix that F up you did earlier. Because I do. I think that first bite, that's not doing jack, and that needs to pull that down. That was an opportunity missed. That needs to come down more, and it needs to come. So I need the lever point to be farther out there so I can pull that down, I think is what I'm saying. And whereas doing this pretty with copper wire would have been a joy, doing it with bigger copper wire than what I tried to do it with there would have been a nightmare. And it looks really pretty, and it was totally not effective. So in keeping with what I said I was going to do, I ran away. I ran away from that like nobody's business. I went kicking and screaming. You know, this is a pretty big deal tree to me, and I don't have to win every battle. I just have to come away having done no harm. You know, and yeah, I don't always do that either. Sometimes it's what you don't know. But yeah, that looks a lot better. This guy needs to come down. And one more time, where are we going to find a perch? Where am I going to continue to find a place to rig off of to use as a point? I guess we're just going to have to make a point here at this. This is the point where we're just going to have to make a point. And this is our guy right here. Oh, that could have also been aluminum. It didn't have to be copper. Okay, I'm about to wrap this pot with a rigging point right quick. See, now I could throw a wire underneath these, and I don't want to do that. I've done that. I've done things like that before, and I was not happy. I was not happy with the results. Oh yeah, that's gonna make me happy when I have a good rigging point. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make this easy peasy. All it's gonna cost us is 1,000,000 miles of copper wire, and unlike all the other beautiful copper wire, this is gonna be kind of crappy, actually. Tell you what, why don't we minimize the waste anyway? We could at least do that. I'm literally going to throw a loop of wire here and leave just enough slack in it to kind of keep it easy for me and hopefully not bust the pot or tear up roots. But at the same time, it's so wasteful, Pat. This is so wasteful. Okay. But this is a rigging point, and there we go. Something to pull from. The proverbial, give me a lever, a big enough lever, and a place to stand. So what we needed right here, was a place to stand without smacking camera. 39 minutes. Yeah, we're this isn't going to be a 2-minute deal, is it? But you know what? Also, by doing the wire that way, by running this guy here, I've made things abundantly easy on myself for the other parts of this. Okay, just come down there. It could have been a little longer. The shorter you make these, the more you have to kind of tie a knot with your thumb. And that can hurt. I mean, I can bruise the end of your finger trying to get brass wire to behave. Okay. Straighten that out a little bit. Okay. Now. So we can see we have a couple of miles of wire left over, so it'd be a shame to cut it too short after all of that, but I think we could probably cut this down to that without wasting anything. Also, those little red needle nose I keep grabbing, those things will pinch the total crud out of you. I don't like that I always think that's a bad design whenever pliers or any kind of pliers does that. Leatherman, my Leatherman tool, when I was a grip, I stopped using Leathermans and started using SOG, S-O-G, for that very reason. Okay. Little tool time. Little Patricia tool time there. These guys haven't been too painful so far. And I didn't think I would like the little spring on them that pops them back open, but yeah, I do. I guess I do. It's kind of convenient. Okay. Easy. Easy. I'm trying to get used to these little ones instead of the big pliers because I don't want to sling around something quite that long. I'm still a little clumsy, grabby with these, but the idea is, for me, is to get better with them. And I gotta admit, sometimes you grab a piece of wire, you go up in there and you think, yeah, we're gonna have all of our pliers handy today so that we can pull stuff down as we need to pull it down. And then you start kind of pulling on it with your hand a little bit and you think to yourself, oh, that's gonna be quite a bit easier than I thought. And that's where it starts. And a few minutes later, you're struggling. And when you finally reach down and pick up that pair of pliers and realize how much easier it could have been over the last 10 minutes. That's still kind of where I am with should I be using pliers or should I not be using pliers things. But yeah, a lot of times by the time I reach for them, it would have been easier earlier. Boom. Just did a little pre-made hook there. Lassoed that limb like I knew what I was doing. Put a little twist in it. Now let's see if we can get this to look. How much am I totally, oops, I'm sorry, Frida, I just bumped my partner, who realizes at this point that the treats that I had doled out for this video are gone. She's pretty much earned whatever was going to be per diem was going to be paid out at this point. So give that a pretty firm bend to hold it in place long enough for me to start wrapping it up. And again, I didn't leave myself a whole lot. Opportunity to do some really pretty wiring. Missed. It's okay. At the end of the day, I'd rather play a safety with this tree. Got exactly what we wanted to do. There. Everybody has a lot more room. This guy's going to come a lot more down. This guy has to come a lot more down. We'll survive. Okay, now. What do you mean, okay, now? I want to make sure I don't grab a bud or something when I go down there and grab underneath the trunk. I want to make sure I'm not running into anything I should be trying to take care of, you know. Okay, if I can get that to wrap back up, I would be pretty happy. I pulled that down quite a bit more, I think. How though? How am I going to wrap that back up now? Slow down, for one thing. Go. There. Now. Okay. Make sure that stays off the tree. Make sure we're not pulling the tree over. No, everything's good. Everything's good. Okay. All right. What? That. We're doing this. We're going to go ahead and do this now while we're here. As soon as I find the needle, there they are. Yeah. One so far. How many times have I poked a hole in the end of my finger while doing this with a piece of copper wire? So far, one. So far, one. Do that. and do that. Still one. Okay. It's doing what I... No, it's not. It just split. Yeah, it is. Okay. Oh, I see what's happening. Wow. I do not like the looks of that. As far as just, encaging my little tree and wire. However, that's doing exactly what I want it to do. What I was hoping that I would do tonight would be a pretty spirals around here in copper, draping that out. And the idea was to pull all of the branches on this bottom row down like you see them now, and give air and room and light and all that stuff room to do it. We have accumulated all of those goals. I'm just disappointed that I had to do it with guy wires instead of adorning those branches in pretty copper. That was kind of the reason why I invested in the copper, was so that I would get a chance to do some decent work on this. And I don't think I'm able to do that now. I don't think my game is up for that. The gauge that I would have had to have gone up to have pulled this off would have meant that I was being a lot more dangerous, and then I would have only done probably this much in the heavy gauge, and then before switching over to this little wire to go there. And where my game is currently is in pulling those branches down. If you're scared, say you're scared. That's better than wrecking something. So yeah, I'm not going to totally diss it. Mission accomplished. That is what we wanted to do. We are adding a lot of air, a lot of light, and a lot of room to those branches and those buds, so that everything can full out and do a good job. And I think I would probably, I'd get a B. I'd give that a B, because mission accomplished. Everybody's back on the boat having beers, so to speak. But at the same time, I wish it would have been a little prettier. that would have been a good time. That would have been a good time to show it. So yeah, I guess you can tell I'm a little disappointed. Not overly so. It was still a pretty good Friday night. And also, I'm glad I'm glad that just to walk away from this. I was kind of actually nervous about doing this. This isn't just like, if I wreck one of those little pines, then I've wrecked a little pine, and that's gonna feel bad. I mean, that's almost like stepping on a puppy or something. But at the same time, it would feel a little different if I got a little full of myself and started snapping limbs off on this thing or something. So yeah, I kind of knew going in that we had to go a little slower and try not to do any more damage than the over pruning, that over the needle reduction that I did come needle thinning time. But I'm happy with that. I guess I'm just, yeah, go ahead and say you're happy with that, Pat. That's good. Okay. Like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. This is going to be probably dropped on probably tomorrow, probably Saturday midday. We'll drop our Friday night drop. Our thing that will drop just before this, the thing that dropped just before this that y'all already saw is Don't Wire This Way. And while as that wasn't a lot of fun either, that wasn't a lot of pressure. I was pretty glad. The lesson there, I think one of the big lessons is when you see something like that not going your way, stop. Don't fight it and start tearing stuff up. We ended up getting some pretty, I looked at the tree today, we got some pretty okay movement out of it either way. It just flipped out of the wire. I bent into it like some kind of wrestler hold or something. So yeah, that's live and learn there. But this guy was a little, I thought this would be that kind of made it a little bit more fun to maybe try to do something, a little dressier. Well, okay. Well, let's just look. This is what we tried to do that would have been dressier, and that was a good 2-branch method. We ran our wires together. They were clean. They did a good job. They weren't heavy enough for the thickness of that 15, 18, 19-year-old, however old that pine limb is. So that's just kind of the way that goes. All right. I appreciate you, and Frida appreciates you, and thank you so